What's going on, folks? Welcome to tonight's episode of the Rattler Roundup podcast. I'm Jay Peeps.
How y'all doing? It's your boy Bishop Bonnet. Sorry for the non-video right now. Your boy's in full dad mode back home, so just bear with me for a second, everybody.
All good, all good. And this evening, we're joined by our probably one of the most legendary FAMU running backs to ever step foot on the highest of Seven Hills. Philip Sylvester, who is newly appointed. Actually, let me just go pull up the numbers. So, Florida A&M Hall of Famer, 2007 MEAC Rookie of the Year, Atlanta Football Classic MVP, and Florida Classic MVP. So what's going on, Philip? How you doing?
Man, I'm doing pretty good. I just appreciate you and Bishop having me on. Can we get an amen?
Amen.
Nah, man, it's all
Amen.
about you, dog. You the star right now, man.
No,
Hey,
Bishop, man. I
Nah, I
watched
can't.
it.
I ain't even touch 1,000, man. I can't. I ain't touching you. I ain't messing with you, dog.
now I will say, now funny, let me bring that back because for the longest time, I always was going around telling people Philip Sylvester, he hit 1,000 yards.
No, I
So
didn't. And you know the interesting thing about 2010, that 968 yards was in 8 games, really, because I got 8 games in a quarter because I got hurt the Dale State game, so I only played one quarter, and then I missed the next 2 or 3 games. So no, I never hit 1,000. I got close, but man, my whole career I was beat up. Just had to play through a bunch of injuries. So that's part of football. But
Okay. So then we got the same story. Then my
oh yeah,
last year, I was like 5 yards short from 1,000, and then it's always playing through injuries.
wow,
mm-hmm.
yes, I
Yeah,
didn't
that's
know
part of
that.
football. Hey, Bishop, we the last of the tough man football. I don't know if they
Hey,
even play the same kind of football. Do they hit in practice and practice in the heat anymore? So
so I know, especially in Tallahassee, you ain't ducking that heat. That's one thing about it. So
Also, chat, the comment section is open. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, but also leave a comment too. The one thing I will say is, I always like to say, you two, statistically, you two, Philip and Bishop, along with one other FAMU running back, are probably in the last 20 years, like three of the best, again, statistically, that have come
yeah,
through FAMU.
yeah,
The
you got
other one, oh, go
Pompey.
ahead.
You
Yes.
got, you got Richard Pompey.
Yeah, because dude, he was a stud too. I always used to say, like, before, single digits became really really popular. I always used every FAMU game I went to, like going back to even OJ Marchbanks. Like, I used to say, whoever wears 30 for FAMU, you got to be a dog because OJ Marchbanks was a dog, and then Rashard Pompey came in, he was a dog, and then Philip, you came in, you were a dog. Like
Yeah,
that.
that's the
once,
number they gave me. I'm from the old school. I didn't change numbers, so I just
yeah.
kept the same number they gave me. They gave me 30. I didn't necessarily really want it, but I just kept it.
One thing I didn't like about FAMU is even like it's hard to track records there. So even if you're trying to strive to break a record, it's hard to see what you're supposed to strive for because the records are nowhere out there to even strive to break a record. Like I was trying to see what is the single season like rushing record, but I can never find it. I can never find it.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think it's about 1,200 yards, probably like 1,250 somewhere around there.
And
I would.
it was after like I want to say like the sixth game, and I was like, okay, I really think that I can put my name in the record books, and I was trying to find it, and I just could never find it.
Wow. Huh. Well, there's one for the comment section. If anybody watching this, whether you're watching it live or whether you're watching it later on, if you know or if you can find in the archives the rushing record for a single season, or even just FAMU's all-time leading rushing record, by all means share it with us. Because I
Oh yeah,
mean,
the all-time leading rusher, that's Willie Gallimore. I think he had
right.
like 3,500 yards.
Hmm. Correct. Now, also too, before we get into it tonight, I do want to go back down memory lane to 2010 with you. So there's two clips I got for you, Philip. Here's the first one.
Maybe you don't need to worry about it when you can get blocking like that and get into the end zone for the touchdown. That is Sylvester's second touchdown run. That one from 13 yards out, and Florida A&M makes Bethune pay for the turnover.
And they've gone more to a power style of running, just running leads and right off tackle. Had a great block by Brandon Curry.
And then the second one I got for you is right here.
Formation. Sylvester will score. Now, in all likelihood, Bethune is not going to win this game, but that was an interesting call there.
Yeah.
Looked like Bethune even let him go in.
I mean, the object is to win the game. Be smart. Take two knees right there, and the game is over.
It is over. You're right.
So, real quick, just like recap that whole day, that 2010 game.
Well, you have to understand what the build-up was. So at that time, Bethune-Cookman was ranked in the top 15 in FCS. They were undefeated. So, you know, they were one of the best teams in the country, not just black college football. And, you know, the game was the winner of that game was Bethune. If they won, they would have won the conference outright. They would have finished 8-0. But since we won, it ended up being a three-way tie with South Carolina State, Bethune-Cookman, and us. And just to know, so, you know, a lot of times, you know, we see these, you know, a lot of offenses these days, you know, they running no huddle and making changes at the call. We were basically, you know, we called a play in the huddle. We was going to go on one, and it was just my man was going to beat your man. And we had a good defense that year. If you look at the statistics of that year, we probably didn't throw for we might have thrown for 1,200 or 1,500 yards. But we had a good defense. We didn't turn the ball over because I think that's the only year that I didn't fumble. I didn't fumble all year. We didn't throw any interceptions, so it was a total. Yeah, I'm on the phone. Y'all hear my son? It was a total team win.
Yeah.
One thing that turned that game around, I don't know if you remember, Kendrick Washington sacked the quarterback, and on that sack, I think he broke the quarterback collarbone, and Marquise Ramos ran the fumble back about 50 yards. So one thing about that 2010 team, we wasn't really that flashy, but we didn't make that many mistakes, and we played good defense. So we were just a good team. You know, football is the ultimate team sport, and we had a really good core group of guys. You know, you're talking about Kier Hall. He was an All-American cornerback. Curtis Holcomb was the other starting cornerback. He got drafted out of FAMU.
Yeah.
And, you know, getting drafted back in those days was pretty hard because, you know, it really wasn't too much focus on black college football, like the Deion Sanders effect and all that. So a lot of talent wasn't evaluated like it is evaluated now. So when you look at that team, you got Brandon Hepburn. He was drafted. He was a walk-on from where was Brandon from? Brandon was from up north, so they historically don't. Well, the area he was at in New York didn't really play football like we play football down south, and he was drafted to the line. So we had a lot of good players on that team, not necessarily 4 and 5 stars, but with good quality FCS players, and some people went on to play at the next level.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Colin says he definitely ran behind a really good line too.
Oh yeah, and yeah, that goes without anybody that know anything about football. So, you know, you got the running backs like Derrick Henry, and what's some other great Alabama running backs from the late 2010s. Mark Ingram. Those guys
Mark
are great
Ingram,
running backs. But
Eddie
anybody that
Lacy.
know anything about football, if the running back go untouched for 3 yards, anybody can get 5 or 6 yards because when you fall, you're gonna have 5.
Yeah.
So yeah, that goes without saying that we had a good offensive line, and a lot of my big runs happened on the left side and the right behind Brandon Curry, and you had Chris Sands, and Chris Hands is actually a great high school coach right now in Florida. He Kier Hall high school coach, Egali, however you say it. So yeah, we had a great offensive line and a lot of people that really wanted to win because that's what you got to do. Bonnet, he played football at FAMU. Of course, it's not an Alabama or Georgia, but we do the best. We do the best for what we can with what we got, and we do a good job. And the people that work at FAMU, they do a good job supporting us with the resources that we have. And it was just an awesome opportunity to play football because I could tell you the story about how I got to FAMU if you want to listen.
Yeah, sure. I was gonna go into that next. Like,
I would
how
definitely love
did
that.
that? Yeah, like recap
So
that like freshman year.
yeah, so
Now
football, I just played.
just take us back to. I was gonna say, just take it back to where you from, man. Like where you grew up at, cause you sound like from the Panthers.
Oh yeah, yeah. You talking about
I think it's
Leggett.
Oh
yeah. Y'all sound
yeah.
like y'all from the same area.
Oh yeah, yeah. Hey, when I got to FAMU, people like, "Where you from?" Hey, I didn't even know I talked country until I got to FAMU. People like, "What?" I said, "I'm from Marietta, Marietta, Georgia." Nah, Marietta, Florida, 70 miles west of uh, Tallahassee. Uh, so
Okay.
that's where I'm from. I just played football because my brother played. I was a track guy, and just like football, I had all kind of injuries in track. In my senior year of track, I pulled my hamstring the first track meet, and I didn't do any block work. The only hundreds I ran was at district, regional, and state, and I ended up finishing second in the state to Jeff Demps. And at that time, Jeff Demps had broke the state record. I think he ran like a 10:38. I ran like a 10:6.
Oh, dog.
And that was one of my biggest
Wow.
accomplishments, almost more than college, because my whole senior year, all I ran was 300s and 400s. And then the coach said, "Hey, let's go. Let's hit it in districts." But long story short, when the coach sent my highlight tape out, at that time, it was back during VHS and Rivals was just getting online. So 05, 06, that's really when people started putting highlight tapes. So a lot of people didn't believe I ran as fast as I did. They thought so you can speed VHSs up to make the person look like they're running faster. But a couple of people believed, and one of them was FAMU, and one of them was the University of New Hampshire. So University of New Hampshire, they always went deep in the playoffs, FCS second or third round, and their quarterback had just won the Heisman. I think his name was the Heisman for FCS. I can't remember the name of it, but his name was Ricky Santos. And the offensive coordinator at University of New Hampshire that year was Chip Kelly. So he had one of the most transformational offenses, that people had seen in a generation. And I was gonna go to New Hampshire and play there. But the only thing that turned me around is my daddy said, "Boy, if you go up there, you're gonna only come home once a year." So I'm glad I didn't go. Chip Kelly ended up so that in the spring of 07, he was there. He ended up going to Oregon, and the rest is history. And I ended up going to FAMU, and I'm glad I did. It worked out pretty good.
Wow.
That's story, man.
That's awesome.
Yep.
So, go ahead.
Yeah, and during the recruiting process, they were the only person that promised me carries, man. Chip Kelly picked me up from the airport in Boston, and we drove up to wherever University of New Hampshire. It's like an hour away. They said, "Yeah, if you come here, you're gonna get 20 carries your freshman year. You're gonna play." I was like, "Dang, I'm coming here," but I'm
Hey,
glad I was.
so when he transferred when he went to Oregon, and you see D'Anthony Thomas, Or did you ever think about hitting Chip up like, hey man, hey, let me come out there to Oregon with you.
Yeah. And tell the truth, if you look at so they, Oregon back in them days, they play with all that eye candy, all them motions and all them variations and formations. You look at them holes that D'Anthony Thomas was running through, Bunny, you would have ran for 1,600 yards too. It ain't no question.
Yeah.
Go back to some of his. I'm not saying the guy wasn't talented, but you look at some of them schemes, some teams running games just be schemed up. You see all the plays on Instagram and how they run it now, but no, I didn't even think about it, Bishop. Man, I was so focused on finishing and doing what I was doing where I was at, man. You know the pressure it is during the season trying to play and work out and get treatment and go to class, and I didn't even think about it.
Wow. So
what was your most memorable game at, fam?
No, it'll be the last one he sent. That Florida Classic, man, that thing was electric. So if you look, I'm gonna kind of get off on another part of college football, black college football. If you look at black college football, so when we were going to the Florida Classic in the late 90s, the Florida Classic had like 73,000 people. It was full.
Facts.
By the time I got there, my years, we had like 55, 60, 48. And now when you go to the Florida Classic, you kind of have like 30, 35. So, Bonnie, I don't know if you ever went back in the late 90s. The whole stadium used to be full. I know now that top section, it don't be anybody sitting up there. But back in the late 90s, the whole thing was filled up.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like another story of black college football, because if you think about in the 90s, the people that lived during the civil rights, they were in their prime in the 90s. So that's 30 years ago. So they was 40, 50, and 60. So the challenge for the next generation that's coming up is how are we going to sustain our black college football brand? So if you look at the side of the field, where the old people sit, we need to start seeing some 30 and 40-year-olds over there and some 20-year-olds. How are we going to sustain our brand? Like, I'm getting on my soapbox. How can I go to a Florida State game and spend $500, Florida State and Miami,
correct,
but I can't, pay for tickets at a FAMU game or buy season tickets? So, that's just a thing that we need to be, talking to our peers about, because it's kind of a crisis. Because if you look at the failures that these classics are having, all they got to do with it's just us and the older people dying off, not being able to support it. Because you look at the Mississippi Valley State Classic that didn't work, they got to do with interest. Then you look at the Circle City Classic. We played at the Circle City Classic when I was at FAMU in the RCA Dome. That's the Colts old stadium.
Yeah.
When we played Winston-Salem State my freshman year, there were probably 40,000 people there, maybe. But this year, guess how many people was at the Circle City Classic?
Out of 10.
3,000. That's what the internet said.
Oh man, jeez, and that game used to be. It used to be like that used to be one of the top classics to go to a year in, a year out. Let's see. Ike Williams. So Kenneth Rozier said Ike Williams had 1,274 yards, average 7.5 yards a carry. I want to say that was back in 78, 79.
I was close with the JPs. I said 1,250.
Yeah, you did. You was almost spot on. That was close. Hey, that seems attainable. I feel like that's still attainable in today's game.
It's attainable. It's attainable, but just like when Bishop did, I used to always say, I love Coach Simmons to death, but I said, man, you got to give Bishop about 22 carries. A running back can't do nothing with 12 or 15 carries.
That's all I was getting.
And you, once you get to 20 to 25 carries in the game, that's the sweet spot, because all game you might be grinding. You might have 15 carries for 50 yards, Then on that 20th carry, you might bust one for 50 yards. And now you got your 100. So, a lot of that, I know the rhythm of the game, sometimes you can't run the ball, but, you look, I know, not to talk about this year team, but you look at a big running back like Thad Franklin, like, I'll be like, man, why this man ain't running the ball 25 times games? His biceps bigger than a python. He looked like he's strong. He looked fresh.
I mean, we rushing, averaging at least 30 carries a game.
You said what, Bishop?
I said we averaging at least 30 carries a game.
Yeah, but I don't think I'm ready for Thad to break out. It seems like he only getting about 15 carries a game.
It's more like the back by committee approach is what seems to dominate the day now, and everything about. I do kind of wish that we would see more of like a bell cow approach.
But the thing is, if you're gonna have a back by committee, you can't have 3 of the same backs. You can't.
No.
You can't. You gotta have a speed guy. You gotta have your ground and pound guy. Then you gotta have your guy that can come out, catch a backfield, a mixture of both. But having the same 3 type of running backs, you're not giving the different look.
In the days game, you don't even need a committee because, back when I played the Adrian Petersons, and I was kind of the same kind of back. I didn't really catch that many passes. Nowadays, all the running backs can catch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You really don't need no committee. You really, that guy just needs somebody to tap him out. All the running backs can catch. Maybe he don't know some of the play. Maybe he can't pass block. But the committee thing was 10 years ago. You look at the NFL. Look at the running backs. All of them can catch. They not taking them out and putting a third down back in. Not a lot of teams. He can do everything.
Mm-hmm.
Look at my guy Terrell Jennings. He a bigger back. He can catch. You don't got to take him out, do you, Bishop?
Nah, Terrell can play all 3 downs, to be honest.
Yeah.
Terrell's all 3 down back for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Also, going back to what you were saying about the Florida Classic as well, too. So here, Colin said, freshman year 2002, I barely got a ticket. 73K easily were inside that stadium.
Yeah.
It's facts. I remember there used to be people like standing room only, like in certain sections of the stadium. It was packed. The traffic was crazier back then. Getting out of there, it was. Woo, golly.
Yeah, I think it changed from like 2010 to 2020. Like it just changed. I don't see the same type of reverence, the crowd, athletes. I think a lot of things change in between that decade of time.
Now, I will say, I think a little bit of it was, and I hate to bring it up. I think a little bit of what hurt it was, Robert Champion, and that situation hurt the Classic a little bit. And then, of course, I think like FAMU, like after Philip Sylvester and company had left, like the football program kind of fell off a little bit. But once Willie got back in there, it kind of came back up.
Well, we ain't fall off a little bit. We down bad.
Yeah, I'm being generous. You're right. Yeah, it was down bad. But yeah, I mean, and then I think COVID hurt it a little bit too. But then I think now it's trying to get back to where it used to be. It's not quite there yet, but I would love to see it get to be like 70,000 again. I think you have to find a way to like get people to come to the game versus like now
Also too, think about it though. You said also during that time, Bethune was a very good team. Yeah. We were also a good team. So having 2 good teams and then having something to play for, like, okay, this game means something. That is a lot. That also goes a lot too. So I feel like even though like those years between 2010 and 2020, it was kind of like, we know when we had that 9-year losing streak, it was kind of like, all right, we know we're not that good. Why are we going down here? Then it turned around, and then we became good, and BCU dropped off, and then you start seeing a lot more FAMU people come, a lot less BCU people come. So I feel like the tide's going to turn where both programs are good, and then it will mean something again.
Yeah. Let the SWAC East title be on the line with both teams going into Orlando. You will
Oh
see
yeah,
every media person, every podcaster, everybody in the HBC world will be in Orlando for that weekend. I promise you. Also, we got one from EA right here. He said, O-line wasn't built like that. No holes the first 3 quarters, but Willie was making them run from sideline to sideline, 4th quarter, busting long runs.
I wouldn't agree with you on that because especially my senior year, it had been plenty of times where I popped off a 15-yard run, a 20-yard run. But like Philip said, it's just that when you get towards the end of the game and you start wearing teams down, and then you just hit that one, like you just hit that one. So it's been plenty of times where we've had our offensive line was good at my senior year for sure. Sure.
Here's another one, too. So Kylan says, I keep hearing 2019 versus 2023 debates, but those 2009-2010 squads were every bit as good. So, Philip, let me ask you. So, in the 4 years that you played at FAMU, well, I know you're going to say 2010, but I guess if you had to choose from 2007 to 2009, which squad was really, the top team?
I don't know. We were good in 2008 and 2009. We had Leroy Van, ran back like 7 kick returns. One season, 2008, we had the most returns for touchdown in the whole FCS at one point. So we had like 2 or 3 interceptions for touchdown, had a fumble return for touchdown, and then you add Leroy Van 4 or 5 kick returns. That's like 9 or 10 non-offensive touchdowns. So we were pretty good. Had Curtis Pulley, and he was battling injuries coming from Kentucky. And Curtis Pulley reminded me of Colin Kaepernick. He was a little bit before his time. He was real lanky and rangy. We probably only threw the ball 20 times a game with him. He'll be like 14 for 20 with 200 yards or 190. Man, we had some good teams, and it's like 3 games. So from 08 to 2010, it was 3 games that we lost. So we lost a homecoming game against Morgan State. It was 10-13. I can't remember what year that was. Might have been 08, and we kicked the field goal and got a holding penalty. We lost, and then we lost a bad one to South Carolina State, 28-21. I remember it because it happened right in front of me. I think that was 08. Yeah. Man, I don't want to talk about the official, but when a pass is batted, is that a fumble?
No.
It depends on if it's backwards. Like if its arm motion is going backwards.
That's true.
Yeah,
also.
we had one like that against South Carolina State at Bragg. They beat us 28-21. They ran a batted pass back. The referees called it a lateral. But
wow,
no, those teams were all good. We had good defensive line, good linebackers. I don't know. It'll be up for the debate.
So what was campus like? What was campus life like for you during that time, around that time?
Well, at that time, fam, you had a bunch of students. I think right now, fam, you probably got 9 or 9,900 students. When I was there, fam, you had 12 or 13,000. We had a lot of people there. Of course, the admissions standards were different. But if you look back at the history of our institution, it was about giving access to people. I'll give you one example. So it was a guy from Tallahassee that I met. He was like a barely admit. I forgot what they called him. So he finished high school with a GED, and he got into FAMU, barely got in. This guy ended up graduating from FAMU with a BS, got an MS from Florida, and then got a PhD from Purdue. So that's the kind of stories that you hear from FAMU. If it wasn't for FAMU, nobody probably would have gave him a chance. But you're talking about somebody that went to the University of Florida, one of the top public schools in the United States, and then go to Purdue and get a PhD, and was a barely admit to FAMU. So you know, you hear those stories all over the place. But campus life was good. You know, there's a lot of things going on. You know, you're on campus with 10,000 people your same age range. So it was fun, man. It was the experience, and I'm so glad I came to FAMU. So
did y'all have the were y'all able to go to the set Fridays, or was like practice and all that in y'all way?
I didn't never go to set Friday, but
Oh
not during the
man.
season.
Wow.
Nah. I
Not
was
during the
trying to
season. I'm gonna slide out there one way or another. One time.
man.
I'm
Hey,
gonna slide.
hey Bishop, when you barely making it through your classes, man, it take every little inch to get through
okay.
it.
I get what you're saying. For sure.
I
No, I
understand
didn't never really go to set Friday, but I did go out, seeing some of the nightlife. That's everybody do that. Well, 99% of people. But yeah, man, fam, you a good time. You in Tallahassee with tens of thousands of college students. You got TSC, well, it was TCC, now they call it TSC. That don't even sound right. You got Florida State, you got FAMU, and then the other component that you got everybody that go to school up there, and then all they homeboys and homegirls come up there during the weekend to have fun. So yeah.
It was like you said, family's mission of practice, excellence with caring. Big facts.
So I ask this question a lot. So how was it like? Well, obviously, during your senior year, did you do your pro day? And then how was that process going through your pro day? Did you get a shot? And then if you did or didn't, how was that process just like hanging up the cleats and moving on to something different?
Oh, so yeah, we had a pro day. We had a big pro day. Like I said, Curtis Holcomb, he was drafted. So we probably, Leroy Van and them guys had just left the year or two before. We probably had 20 scouts there. So we had a pretty good showing pre Deion Sanders, because a lot of people don't know about Coach Taylor. He's interconnected in the whole college, or we'll be in there. He'd be like, "Yeah, I just got off the phone with Philip Fulmer." And Philip Fulmer was the head coach at Tennessee, so he know all them guys at AFCA. Then you had Earl Holmes there. He was a Rattler great. He steady calling people in the NFL. So just like in the real world, a lot of things are about your talent, and then a lot of things about who know you, and being able to have, one of the most important things you can have is 10 digits, just knowing who to call. And we had people on our staff that had played in the pros and had people show up. So we had pro day. It was good. And my senior year was the NFL lockout. So they was locked out from whenever to August, and then got the call, went to the Falcons, was up there. That was a good experience. It's you see the NFL on TV, but you don't really see it till you get on the field. And what I'm saying is like the speed of the game, like you always want to be like, man, why don't running backs keep missing them blocks? It's because, man, I'm on this play. I got 4 people I gotta watch. I gotta watch these 2 linebackers. I gotta watch the cornerback, and I gotta watch the safety. And then after I do all that, now I can go out for my route. So, man, it was amazing, because I think that year out there, Julio Jones was a rookie, and Jaquiz Rogers, Matt Ryan was the quarterback. So that was a good experience. I was there about 3 or 4 weeks. I got cut. So I was in my summer classes. I didn't drop them. I went to the Falcons, practiced for 4 weeks. I kept my fall class. As soon as they cut me, I was in class the next Monday. So it, I don't know. It really wasn't a hard transition for me. I miss football. You see the game, but I was just focused on trying to graduate, man. So after I got cut that next Monday, I'm in class. I'm sitting there, people over there looking. They like, Philip, I thought you were with the Falcons. I said I was. I got cut.
Hey, so that's good, man. You had a good backup plan. You had your backup plan ready.
Yeah, just keep rolling, man. That's how I was taught, man. Just keep moving. That's life. You're gonna have ups and downs. Just keep moving.
I hear you.
It's gonna work itself out.
I think AA's talking about the tutors here because you didn't go to Set Fridays, especially with limited tutors to help athletes.
Tutors, what's a tutor? I'm talking to this guy right now at Florida State that play, and he an engineer, and he talking about, yeah, my tutor's gonna help me. I said, dang, must be nice.
It's just because I was gonna say you were at FAMU around the same time as the Rhodes Scholar when he was at Florida State, right? Myron Roll.
Yeah, Myron Rose at Florida State.
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah, because that's pretty cool, man. Like y'all were all in Tallahassee at that time. That's cool.
Yeah.
I think this question is for both of you guys. Are players allowed to go out during the season?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't get in trouble. Hey, and that's one thing you can say about FAMU. You never seen us on the news about somebody getting arrested, somebody getting shot. All the bad things that people talk about FAMU. Bishop, did anybody ever end up on the news when you were playing?
Nah.
I don't ever remember it in recent. I don't remember anybody ever being on the news since I've been following FAMU football.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I mean, if someone ever made the news from FAMU, it was always for a good reason. Like it was always like Leroy Van when he was on College Game Day on his own with Desmond Howard, or when College Game Day came to FAMU. Like it was in a good light. Like it was never in a bad light. Or like they did a thing. I want to say a little bit after you left, Bishop. Not Bishop, but no, I think it was in between, like when you were there, Bishop, and then when Philip had left, they did a thing about pride stickers on the helmets and everything, and I think like that was the only other thing too, because they said like, oh, FAMU's helmet is so significant because they have pride stickers that are rattlesnakes, and you don't see that anywhere else. Because I was like, yeah, it's true. Like, I mean, Georgia's got bones, Florida State's got the tomahawks. Michigan's got like little different things on their helmets as pride stickers, but like FAMU always had like rattlesnakes.
Hey, I was going. Joe Taylor gave us this card to put in our wallet, and I always kept it. But I'll read it to you. It's right here. I'm gonna read it to you. It's an accountability card. It says, "FAMU, is this the right thing to do? Is this the best I can do? Is this the way I would want to be treated? Will this help me achieve my goals? How will this affect my future? Is this a risk I can afford to take? How will this reflect on my parents, players, and coaches of Florida A&M?" Everybody had this in their wallet. Joe Taylor, I still got it. I can't believe I kept it this long.
That's awesome.
That doesn't mean it really meant something to you, dog. That's all that meant.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So yeah, we went out, but nobody didn't get in trouble. We looked out for each other. We 18 or 22 years old, so it was a good time. And we also went to church too on Sunday. I wasn't even AME, and I went to Mount Zion AME. That was the church right there. Pastor Elwood.
Nice. So go ahead, Bishop. Go ahead.
I was like, how is life now, man? Like, what are you doing now? I know me and you talk, but for the people who don't know, like, what is your career like now? How's life treating you now?
Oh yeah, man, life is life. It don't get no easier. You just get stronger. Coach Taylor say, don't ask for a lighter load, pray for a stronger back. But after I left college, I started with the railroad, and I've been with the railroad ever since. A lot of people think the railroad out of business because when you go over a track, it look like nothing ain't happening. But we definitely in business carrying raw. A lot of people see intermodal containers and they think that's the railroad business, but we carry a lot of raw commodities from plastics to petroleum to chemicals to aggregate, just all the basic stuff that end up being a cardboard box, just all kind of chemicals. And I've been on the railroad about 13 years, and it's a tough job. like anything else worth doing, but it's a good job.
Have you been keeping up with the team this year?
Yeah, I didn't been 2 home games. We've been watching them. Hopefully they getting prepared for North Carolina Central so we can get in there and have a good showing. We need to get back on the
what's your synopsis on the team this year so far? What you think?
well, they just gotta play, gotta win. The best way to go up get over the hump is to win. It ain't no choice. Either you put up or you shut up. That's the beautiful thing about sports. You know, in the business world, a lot of professional organizations like to compare themselves to sports. No, nobody ever beat sports. Nobody ever had a level of accountability that a football team has or a coach has, where your whole resume is laid out there. Your day-to-day is under a microscope. Your whole job review is on film, and everybody can watch it and review it. So, sports is the ultimate level of accountability, especially football and especially college football. Because if you don't win in a couple of 2 or 3 seasons, you're gonna be calling the U-Haul.
Wow, and this has been the talk of like every talking circle, like within FAMU, amongst the fan base. Just the inconsistent QB play that has been taking place. So I guess I asked, Phil, what's been your takeaway as far as like the offense? Like, what do you feel needs to change within the team? Like from a running back perspective, offensive line perspective, quarterback perspective. Like, what do you see?
Well, my football eyes left me a long time ago. Hey, I can't. I don't know, man. It's a array of different things, but they gonna get on the right track. They don't got no choice.
They don't got a choice.
They don't got no choice. They gonna get on the right track, and I know how it is to be in a little slump like that. The best recipe for that is to get a win, to get out there and make some big plays, to get on defense and knock some helmets out, because the stage is already set. Bishop, when the last time you been in Bragg?
It's been a while.
Man, Bishop. Man, they got the scoreboard. I think it's like 2 or 3 years old, and now they got the lights, man.
Yeah,
The lights
I see that.
flashing like a club.
Yeah.
The stage is set. They already got everything they need. Just gotta open the curtain up and go out there and do and have a show. You just gotta do it. Everybody in life done had their backs against the wall and been down, but you just gotta do it.
Now, yes, this is also another thing too. I'm Bishop and Philip. I know y'all are familiar with the players list that it goes out on Twitter every week. Well, I was gonna say, Philip, do you have Twitter?
No, man, I don't have Twitter. I used to have Twitter, but I got Facebook and Instagram, so I figured I wasted enough time on those two, so I didn't need nothing else.
I hear you. So there is a players / legends list that's going around that they basically say, if you sign up, you can get an on-field pass for each home game. And recently I did send that invite to Kier Hall on Twitter. I also sent it to Chad Hunter. I sent them to Bishop as well. So I don't know how or by what way, but I will try my best to copy that link and send it to you on Instagram.
Well. Man, hey, man, I was on the field last week for the first time since 2010. I'm gonna tell you this, man. That standing on the field, I like to sit in my seat, man. I sit in section D, row 29. That's where I've been at the last 5 or 6 years. I like to sit down and look. I appreciate it, but man, I don't like standing up on the sideline.
Yeah, hey, now I can understand that too, because honestly,
I like to sit down, because see the side we on at about 4:30, that shade be hidden. That's why you got to move over there on the press box side. You got to get off the other side. That sun will burn you up.
Yeah. Facts.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide on. So I just drove from Maryland on last weekend. Nah, I'm gonna be down here in Jacksonville for like the next month. So I think I'm taking my daughter to the homecoming. If I take my
Come
daughter
on,
with me
man.
if I take my daughter with me to homecoming, I'm not gonna stand on the sideline. I'm not gonna-
No, I appreciate it, JPs. I ain't never wanted to stand on the sideline, to tell you the truth. I like to sit down and drink me a soda. That's what
I
I
hear
like
you.
to do.
I like to sit up high too, so I can see the plays develop. But yeah, Bishop, man, I'd say by all means, man, come on through to Tallahassee for homecoming, man. It'd be good for you to come back.
I have
By
been
all
back in a
means,
while. Man.
Hey, JPs, who was that wrote in the comment section they retired from the railroad?
JMC.
Oh, is that Jimmy?
I mean, that's his profile picture. I can't really blow it up any like larger. If he's
Mm-hmm.
still in the comment section, by all means, type out your full name if you would like to.
Okay.
I mean,
I think he might be my Facebook friend. I think. But
Yeah, my bad, man. Usually, bro, we have like slides, broadcasting each sport, trying to give each sport they spotlight. But bro, like I said, I've been traveling and just trying to being a dad, and I just been busy. I ain't touched the computer. I ain't even try to do
oh
that.
yeah, man.
I got you, Bishop.
I
Here's one
understand
of
about that, Bishop. Like I was telling JP before we got in there, man, I got three. I got a 7, a 4-year-old, and a 10-month-old trying to get them wrangled together. My wife and they're taking care of them, but I understand.
yeah. Dude, yeah, God bless you guys, man. Y'all are doing a great job as parents, man.
I appreciate that, man.
Definitely. Also, so I guess that is Jimmy Mack. That's
Oh
the
yeah, I
James.
think Jimmy, my Facebook friend. I need to write him.
But yeah, so yeah, these are the volleyball games for this weekend. So they're all road trips, by the way. All October 8th, 7 p.m. at Bethune-Cookman, October 12th, 2 p.m. at Southern in Baton Rouge, and then October 13th at 4 p.m. in Lorman against Alcorn State. So,
Yeah, we need starting the season off to the volleyball game because I think he fell short against Alabama State and A&M.
yep,
This past week, they last past week.
they lost. They lost in 3 sets to Alabama State, and then they lost 2 sets to 3 to Alabama A&M. So this is like a 3-game road trip here, and then I think Sunday after the homecoming game they play again.
Yeah, I just think they're a young team, a bunch of new people. I could be wrong, but I feel like they're a young team. I feel like the coach should get the things going later half of the season. They're always family volleyball, always in contention, always a good program. So I know they'll bounce back.
Facts.
Yeah.
And then also too, Philip, we also wanted to bring awareness again to Thing Exchange as well. I'm not sure if you're aware of Thing Exchange. It's basically like FAMU's collective for.
Okay. No, I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah, see, this is the wonderful thing about like having this community here. And I'm thankful for Bishop for mentioning and bringing up the idea of starting this because now like people that don't know about it now Thing Exchange, of course, again, the collective for FAMU goes right into the athletes' pockets or goes towards the athletes, helping them get what they need, nutrition, taking care of their bodies and everything. Because I've spoke with Bishop about this before, and I'm sure you would agree too, Philip. You probably wish sometimes maybe you could have had like a collective back then, like what these kids have now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
then with the Fang Exchange, they got different levels that you can give. They got a $10, I believe $10, 15, 25, 50, 100. Then I think it's 150. Then I know it's 200 and 250. So if you go on the website, I know there are different levels that you can give every month.
Okay. What do you can you choose who you give it to, or they just give it to a pool of people?
So
Ah,
so with that, they just started having, like, I want to say just started having, but they have I want to say like weekly or monthly meetings, and they definitely give you an input on who they want to, on who you decide who you should give the money to. You definitely
Okay.
have input on who you give the money.
yeah. Also, this is Ashley right here. She runs Fang Exchange with Tasha. So they have their weekly show Thursday nights on YouTube as well. So their YouTube channel name is Fang Exchange. They do a great job. Last week they had on Nayron Jenkins actually. So that's again another great show to check out and watch. So, but yeah, by all means, yeah, check in with Ashley.
Yeah. JP's, how many minutes we got? We about to cut off.
I mean, again, I know that you and Bishop y'all got kids and families to take
No,
care of. So.
no, it's fine. I just had a few more things to say. So
Oh, I'm like, say what you got to say. The floor is open.
it won't be long. I won't talk long. But no, man, I just appreciate y'all putting this together and just focusing in on FAMU because my kids, I grew up going to FAMU games. We didn't go in, we were just outside, but I really didn't come into being I guess a Rattler until I actually stepped on campus. So, we got all kind of FAMU clothing, but it seems like every shirt I wear is a FAMU shirt. So I'm just saying we should be hyper focused on our brand, just like
Sure.
y'all doing, boosting it up, repping it. I live in South Georgia. We should be wearing our stuff just as proud as a Georgia fan because at the end of the day, it's all we got, really.
Yeah.
I'm just so
Because
proud to have played at FAMU and graduated from FAMU and to have my wife go to FAMU. So it's a lot of things that we need to work on, but I'm always reminded of the quote of, can y'all hear me? I hear an echo.
I can hear
I
you.
I
Okay.
can hear you.
Reaching for the stars, don't forget the flowers at your feet. So, a lot of times in life we have these really broad to the moon goals and aspirations as far as what our institution want to do or what we want to do. But I just, I just want to pat y'all on the back and all of the supporters that just, hyper focused on FAMU because it's actually not as bad as we think because I saw San Diego State. Their attendance is so bad that they giving tickets away and they still don't have anybody coming to the games. I'm pretty sure I saw
Wow.
an article like that last week. So it's certain college programs in certain areas that's struggling on the basic level as far as attendance. I don't know how their finances are overall, but we still have a pretty good thing at FAMU with football. So hopefully Coach Cozy can get us on the right track.
And we're gonna support whether we on the wrong track or the right one. We love
That's right.
FAMU. We
Facts.
here for FAMU. So
That's facts.
we
That
want to
is
be. We
facts.
want to keep this thing on the right track now. We want to keep this thing
Yeah.
on a good railroad. But
Oh wait,
Yeah.
here we go.
ain't
There
happening.
is an echo. Not sure. I mean, you came
Yeah.
through. I understood what you were saying, but there was a slight
Yeah. I
bit
don't
of
know
an
what
echo.
changed. I didn't change anything. Maybe I need to back up. But yeah, Bishop. I know we can support, but the thing about the world is foul weather. They like to follow winners. Because I'm gonna tell you this.
Yeah.
So I grew up in North Florida, and when I was a kid, everybody was a Florida State fan. So how in the world you getting 2010 to 2024, everybody Alabama fan? They just foul weather. So how you live an hour away from Tallahassee and you're an Alabama fan? That's
I can never understand that.
I never
How you
understand
from
it.
Jacksonville and don't like the Jacksonville Jaguars? It's
so people
beyond.
foul weather. So you gotta win to get them foul weather people on there, man.
Yeah.
You're
How
gonna
deep
have
is
your faithful Rattlers, but to get the consensus, you gotta be winning.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to your point, man, it's kind of like every other program has their safe space where their alumni go and talk their mess, and everybody in their group chat talk. Every big time school, Alabama, Florida State, every, You got other HBCUs who do it. So, man, then I know FAMU, we got the orange and green strike zone. But I just wanted to, bring the younger guys into it, man. Just something with the younger generation, bringing us into this, man, and trying to get, like you say, show everybody that it is some pride in FAMU, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And you got to bring the younger generation in because they the ones that gonna keep it going. When the older guys are gone. So
yeah,
and
that's
like
part
to
of
hear
it.
my daughter, like when I get home, when I came home, anytime I come home to hear my daughter say, they had college day at FAMU, and I wanted to wear FAMU stuff, but I didn't have any FAMU stuff, so I just didn't anywhere. Like, and then to hear her for her to see how important FAMU is to me, I can tell when she talks to me about it. She know how important FAMU is to me, and I just want to keep rubbing that onto her because I want her to be a Rattler one day.
Oh yeah.
I told her, look, if I'm paying for your schooling, you going to FAMU, okay?
Hey, but you check this out, Bishop. You won't believe the amount of people that went to Florida State and kind of wish, be like, man, I wish I would have just went to FAMU and got this degree.
All right, I got
It's nothing wrong with going to other schools, but the community is just different.
yeah,
It's just different. I really can't explain it, but we're a tight knit group of people, a lot of successful people trying to do a lot of good things. So I ain't gonna hold y'all long, Bishop. I appreciate you and Jay Peeps getting me on here. Jordan,
I
what's your
appreciate
last
it too, man.
name?
For real.
my last name.
Yeah.
My last name is Peoples. Peoples.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
And what
got
part of Georgia you say you in?
I live in Leesburg, Georgia. Well, might as well
All
say
right, so
Albany, but I live in Leesburg.
I got some people. My auntie, she works in Bainbridge High School, but she stays. She got a house in Bainbridge, and she got another house. I keep forgetting the name. It starts with like a D, like Donaldsonville.
Oh
Stay
yeah,
in Donaldsonville.
Donaldsonville. That's right beside Bainbridge. Well, not, but it's right beside it, but it's close. Yeah.
Yeah, she's staying in Donaldsonville. I used
Yeah,
to
I'm
love
in
going to her house
Bainbridge.
for Thanksgiving. She going
Yeah,
crazy.
Bainbridge. That's a good community. Got a lot going on.
Nice. But yeah, Philip, we're appreciative of you coming on here, joining us, man, catching up, talking about old times, everything. You're always welcome to come back here. By all means, the door is always open. We say that for a lot of players, and by all means, if there's any players that you played with or that came before you that you may know or that came after you that by all means, invite them to come on, whether they play football or not. We would sure love to hear from them.
Are you guys gonna be at homecoming?
I'll be there.
Yeah,
I'm going this weekend as well.
All right.
Where you sitting at, JP?
I think I should. My mom has it. Actually, you know what? I have it right here. Give me a second. Let me actually pull it up.
Let's see if you're a real Rattler, Bishop.
I know I sit on the shaded side for sure because I'm.
Oh yeah. You're a real Rattler, dude.
I sat on the far side maybe 2 times in the last 5 years.
The sun gonna get you. Well,
yeah,
people like it though.
What? I was like, oh no. And it was a 6 o'clock game.
Unless you with your homeboys and you trying to walk up them infamous steps.
Let's see, I'm in section F.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, good. So I am.
But now for sure for homecoming, I'm gonna come. I'm gonna come for homecoming. So I would definitely, like to get up with you boys, man.
Definitely, man. Yeah, let's do it. I know for homecoming I get into town Thursday. So I'll be there Thursday. I know for a fact this weekend I'm getting there Saturday, and then I'm heading back right after the game because we got tickets for the Bucks and 49ers.
Okay. I think I'm gonna go to the Jaguars and Seahawks game. I was gonna go to the Monday night game last night, but it was a school night, and yeah. So I'm gonna take her to the one this Sunday.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I know Jackson's going crazy right now, man.
Yeah, it is. Great time to be alive.
I hear you. Great time to be alive down here as well. Two of the best backs to do it, Bonnet and Sylvester.
Nah, I appreciate that, man.
Appreciate it, brother.
I'm telling you, we need to get Rashard Pompey on here next. That's what we got to do.
Do anybody have his contact information? I never talked to Rashard before.
Yeah, I would love to see. I would love to get him on here too as well, because
I do got
OJ Marchbanks.
I do got to head out. I got to start getting my kid ready for school tomorrow.
All right, Bishop.
All right. Yeah, we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Yeah, all right, folks. That's going to do it for us tonight. Again, we appreciate you, Philip, for coming on and joining us. So in closing, let me go ahead and just pull up your Instagram here. So if y'all want to follow Philip Sylvester, that's his Instagram at 3.0.Phil on Instagram. So y'all go ahead and go give him a follow and everything. And then as well, too, be sure to join us tomorrow night. Tune in for the Run and Gun podcast tomorrow night. Me, Ace, Mr. Sasser. And then, of course, Countdown to Kickoff is going to be Friday this week instead of Saturday because, again, I'm driving up early in the morning for the NC Central game. So Countdown to Kickoff will be live tomorrow at 3 p.m. Plus, I have to go pick up a rental car and going to see some high school football afterwards. So that's why it's at 3 p.m. tomorrow. So by all means.
Are you going to see high school football or real high school football? You coming to South Georgia, or you going to stay around?
See, here we go.
So they play some football up in South Georgia. You got Moultrie and Colquitt and Lee County. They play some football now.
Now, I will say I'm going to, because I live in Plant City, Florida.
Yeah.
I'm going to go see Plant City High School play.
Oh,
They're, I want to say, 5-2 right now? 5-2. I went and saw Armwood, who was like undefeated, probably one of the best teams in this area last week. But I am going to the Valdosta Lounge game.
Oh yeah, Valdosta's good.
Yeah, that one's must see TV for me because
I don't mean to get off on a tangent, but if you give me a lot of people always talk about the facilities that they have in Georgia. But Florida could have those facilities too. What Georgia have, they have special taxes. So they have like SPLOS and T-SPLOS. So they like a half cent or 2 cents. So if people in Florida want better facilities, all they got to do is pay more taxes. That's where the facilities in Georgia come from. People always be talking about, oh, this school got this indoor practice facility and this got this. Well, if you look at a county like Palm Beach County that got billions and billions and billions of dollars in real estate. Yeah, they want better public, facilities. It all come down to the dollar. But right now people don't even want to pay property taxes, so that's probably off the table. But I just wanted to tell people that because a lot of people always talk about the facilities in Georgia, and they always talk, oh, they so nice. It's because it's more taxes,
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, the county that I'm in. They just spent Lee County, Georgia, has a population like 30,000 people. They just spent $2 million to put turf on a baseball field and the softball field in a county with 30,000 people.
Wow.
Yeah, and they get that from tax revenue and like a special tax revenue. I think it's on sales tax, like a penny or 2 pennies, and I don't know. You can look it up, but that's how Georgia do it.
That's how they get. And then, of course, like their coaches make more money too in Georgia than they do here in Florida.
And that I hadn't looked into how that works, but that's pretty important. It's worth paying somebody $150,000 if they bring all the notoriety and positive influence to a school and kids getting scholarships. That's a drop in the bucket.
Yeah, because I know like they recently had a thing. It was back when Willie Simmons was coaching, and I think a little bit of at the start of Colsey's time. They were trying to do like a thing where they were trying to raise money for like they had like this Florida Football Coaches Coalition where they wanted to raise money for coaches to get an increased pay here.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if that's still being debated and on the table or not. I'm not sure. And I don't even know if it mainly affected like public schools or both public and private. I'm not too sure about that. But yeah, I mean, if Florida had the facilities Georgia and Texas have, ooh, you talk about leveling the playing field.
Yeah.
Also, Ashley did say, she said, I think this is as far as Rashard Pompey. She said, I know his brother. I will ask about him. So yeah, wait, let's do it. You know, Ashley, if you have that information, by all means, you know, share it, and we'll get him on here too. Because I will say, I do know for a fact he had 1,000 yards, I think, 2 separate seasons with him.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I know his senior year he had 1,000, and probably his junior year too.
Yes, man, I'm telling you, dude. Like it came one after another, man. Like it was like OJ Marchbanks, Rashard Pompey, then you came, and it was like, as a little kid, I was like, number 30's been in college a long time. I was like, this dude's just. But then once you get older, you kind of realize like how college and stuff works and how classifications work. Then you're like, oh, okay, like whoever wears 30, they must be like a dog. Like I guess that's just the lineage of the number. But yes, sir. You know,
All right, man.
Definitely, man. Hope to see you this weekend. Hope to see you at homecoming the following week as well, too. So, you know, as always, folks, you know, y'all take care. Y'all stay safe, stay blessed. Well, I'll see you tomorrow night.
All right. Thanks.